Hello, everyone. We are live. Hopefully, the sound quality is okay here. Let's bring in my microphone. All right. Welcome. I'm just coming on here randomly. So I wanted to talk about the energy of June 21st, the summer solstice. And so this is going to be my daily angel card and tarot card reading. So let's see what messages come up. First of all, I'm just going to invite everyone to get grounded in the space. I also want to say thank you so much for everyone who has been participating in all of my programs, who's been subscribing, following me underneath TikTok, watching my lives there. I really just appreciate all the support. When you are a small business owner, it's really, really helpful. It's like little tiny things like people commenting and helping me grow, of course. So if you're hopping on, you want to message. Those are one of the perks of often when I come on live, I'll invite you into the space to share this energy with me. Good afternoon, Kelly. You were on my mind last night when we were doing our meditation program. So after tonight, if you're a VIP in my membership group, which anyone can join for $55 a month, you'll get the replays of a lot of programs, not a lot, all of the programs that I'm in the middle of doing right now. So, and I still have spots available for my Pay It Forward forgiveness program. So that, again, is free. It's just asked that you do something kind for someone else as a result of that. So that's also available Wednesday nights, the next 2 Wednesdays, if you want to hop in. I'll give you the link for that, okay? That's at 7 p.m. So yeah, tonight is our last night for our Money Blocks program, and then that will also be up. Those are 4 classes all around money. We do some rituals, some theta healing, some deeper conversations on cord cutting. So if you're an empath, I've really been coming up in people's energies today more than any other day, it feels like. So underneath my Instagram today, I was just talking a little bit about us focusing a bit more on our own energy. I pulled up some cards. Oddly enough, I shuffle the cards and the same cards come up again when I go to do another reading. So I'm like, all right, it's so important with this energy that we're really focusing in on what's coming up in society and humanity. In my membership group, also, when I went to go do the theta healing downloads this month, on the 15th month, I do that for Pro and VIP. What was coming up was a lot of energy around historical stuff, societal things, right? So as a female, how we've been evolving, as a human, how we've been evolving, how we're looking at things. So there's a lot of new age stuff, I feel like, coming up. And so just pay a bit more attention to that already. And let's also work on releasing things that are no longer serving us. This new moon that we just had as well was, if I don't know if you caught that video or not, it's here underneath YouTube. There's still a lot of forgiveness energy, which is why I was inviting that program in. And still like this energy of like, okay, we need to transfer what we're releasing over into our new reality, our new relationships, or even our old relationships. For instance, forgiveness is a perfect example of how we need to sometimes just let things go and ride that wave a bit more rather than hanging on to any grudges or being difficult, creating more conflict, because we've had such intense energy for so long that what we need is to be around people who are more forgiving, a little bit more lighthearted. So people who don't have chips on their shoulders, right? It's so important that we're working with that energy. And boundaries is also coming up with this energy where it's learning to communicate, learning to stand your ground, and it's taking care of ourselves. It's showing up for ourselves. It's doing the work. So if you're setting a boundary for yourself, are you following through with that boundary? It's really challenging to implement boundaries when we're not sure about why we're doing that boundary. So keep that in mind around this energy right now, okay? So we have the sun. This is really all about our attitude. So our attitude of gratitude right now is so important. So are you doing daily gratitude practices? If you're my spiritual support team, I recently posted something about how to gratitude journal. I also posted something about a forgiveness letter as well towards yourself. So if there are things that you're hanging on to towards yourself, it feels like we're changing our identity a little bit. So be mindful of that. Sometimes there's a grief process and a forgiveness process that we go through as we shed the skin. And there's some form of death also that's coming up in rebirth as well. So pay attention to that. What doors are you closing? Okay. Also, if you want the replays for my meditation program and you're not planning on coming into the membership group and catching those there, you can pay the $45 and I'll send you the replays, the first 3 classes, again with Theta Healing downloads, which is really helpful for people right now. And then if you want to hop into our Monday night classes at 6:30, you'll get the link for that too, which is amazing. Okay. I want to grow that group a little bit more because it feels like people are really busy right now. And so I want to create more space for people in the one-on-one time that we have in that group setting. So 5 of us representing change, forgiveness. So maybe you're a person who just struggled with how you were treating yourself. Maybe you weren't respecting your body. Maybe you weren't taking care of yourself. Maybe your parents didn't treat you the way that you wanted to be treated. So the inner child might be screaming out loud, hey, I need this, I want this. And so are you honoring your commitments to yourself, to your own healing practices? Do you do yoga? Do you do meditation? Things like that, because it's so easy to run away from those things when we're not in a good mood, when actually what we actually need is to hold space for ourselves, hold ourselves accountable as well. So that nice, healthy balance around give and take and also push and pull, which is what our new moon was teaching. So this summer solstice, the new energy, the shift of the vibration of the season is going to be more about grounding. And so this is talking about things not working out for us. And so what are we doing about that? Are we shifting our vibration to accommodate other people? Or are we starting to recognize we can't keep giving all of our energy away? We need to maintain more energy for ourselves. So let me know if you relate to that. That was really coming up at our meditation last night about being an empath. That's pretty much what all of our things were around. Are we recognizing like where our emotions are coming from? Are we learning to, again, have gratitude for our experiences so we can move forward with it? Coming into an observation space. So our throat chakra is also a big thing that's coming up with this solstice, as well as we have growth and emotions, because it feels like we're starting to feel a little safer to express who we are. We might have been shy before, and now we're breaking free of that. I know I feel that way with my spirituality. I'm finally like, yeah, this is who I am. And so maybe you're accepting yourself a bit more at this time. This summer energy that's coming in for us, again, depending where you live, it's about treatment. What I'm getting here is, how you're treating yourself. So it's really like with the new season, bring in more love, more light, and more laughter, okay? Because this is all about beautiful emotions. So, are you choosing that for yourself? Because sometimes we make excuses, and those excuses are getting old. So we've got the Death card and we've got the Knight of Cups. So this talks about perfectionism, so being a little lighthearted with ourselves. So take it down a notch at times. If you have big goals, big dreams, that's wonderful. But with this energy where we are shifting, this summer is a little bit more about, I just keep getting gratitude. Like, are you complaining a lot? That sort of thing, because that's a sign that you're not happy with the thing. And so don't judge yourself when you're complaining, but again, there's permission for you to grieve. There's permission for you to focus a bit more on yourself and your attitude, okay? So the Death card is really saying that we also need to withdraw a bit. Because it's important to, retreat, respect, reward, things like that. The Hermit tells us that we're going through some environmental changes as well. Energetically, the earth is not feeling very happy right now. It's not very aligned. And so our commitment to our life path and our dreams right now is extremely important, because what you're going to be feeling is there's just so many energetic shifts. If you're not happy with your career, if you're not happy with the person that you are, with the person that you're living with, then you might feel like you're not living your true authentic self, right? You're on this path, but why am I on this path? What led me to this path? Because maybe it's time to shift over to a different path, a different cycle in your life. So that might be not just related to forgiveness, but maybe you need to leave an environment of some sort. I know for myself, I'm moving. We're moving into like country lifestyle, which is very different than kind of city lifestyles. That's just a perfect example of how our vibration's not working in the space anymore. So energetically, we need to physically move. So asking yourself what type of changes are you bringing in right now? I'm also getting that there's someone at the time who's focusing a little bit more on their alter ego. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Let me know in the comments if you relate to what the alter ego is. It's a healthy thing, by the way. It's kind of like part of our inner child, I'm feeling like right now, when we need to dress up, when we need to put on a costume, we want to, sometimes in a healthy way, we want to dissociate from our everyday reality. This is why it feels like we're letting go of so many old soul fragments or whatever it is, like little pieces of ourselves that we've lost along the way, so that we can play more, so we can be happy, so we can, again, forgive other people without all the icky, toxic stuff. Hi, Cheryl. So, yeah, do you relate to the alter ego? Do you know what that means? Because I'm getting that crystals are really great for us too. You know, if you were a child and you used to play with rocks, and I know I really like shells too, just little things like that. It feels like there's a lot of powerful energy in our crystals, working with crystal grids. That can open up our heart naturally too when we start to like play with those. So it's like it's a healthy escapism, all right? Because we know the opposite of the unhealthy ways that we can do that, right? Avoidance tendencies, which brings up a lot of depression for people. You know, like when we're taking care of our nervous system and then our triggers just seem way worse, right? So that's why this is coming up so much around the heart chakra at this time. We've got to focus a little bit less on the material and focus a little bit more on those heartstrings, creativity, music, things like that this time. So it sounds like it's going to be a really interesting summer as we shift out of spring, because spring has been quite challenging for a lot of people. It's been a time where, again, they is just pissed off. Things are just have been really explosive. You might have even been feeling really like off yourself energetically. Maybe you had a lot of insecurities over the spring. You might have noticed a lot of trauma responses, I guess, over the spring too. So you might have been triggered. Let me know if you relate to that as a sensitive empath. Because what's coming up is that was all there for us to become more aware of how we want to move forward. All right. So this is a very much summertime is going to be, you're going to feel like things are just lingering. They're just like, things are just not going exactly the way that we want to, because we might be always searching for closure and then never feeling like we're getting it. And so that's why it's important to cord cut. It's so important to initiate new starts, balance those emotions, agree to disagree, things like that, that we're not going to bother with the conflict anymore, because that reactivity is not progressing anymore. It's not going to work. The earth is like, no. Like the earth is here to show us things. That's what's coming up. Okay, so Page of Cups, this is a beautiful card with our relationships. This is really talking about love that you have for living, the joy of living, celebrating your prosperity, your accomplishments. If you are in our Facebook and you want to celebrate things that you're experiencing, your wins, I would love to hear those things, because it's so, so important that we're able to reflect on the things that have brought sadness and those tears and those emotions, because it's so powerful to see, oh my God, there's a light within me that feels really deep. And that's worth enjoying, because it's important to have emotions. So anyone that's been suppressing over the spring, look, because you're going to be feeling the emotions even more, but in ways that are going to be more expressive and more healthy for yourself. Keep in mind your diet is going to play a role in how you are feeling energetically, your bonds that are bringing you towards other people, or also the bonds that are breaking your cycles and your patterns as well. So pay close attention to that diet. You might think it's nothing, but that's where there is some depression for some people where they feel like, I don't want to let go of my bad habits. I don't want to let go of those behaviors. And I do see a lot of people shifting into summertime where they're getting into bathing suits, stuff like that. And then they can start to feel down on themselves. I don't know. Do you guys relate to that at all when you're wearing less clothing? Like, does that matter to you? Because I'm getting here that to focus on like the goodness from your heart, that sort of thing. So raise your vibration by focusing on raising other people's vibrations. Make other people feel good about their confidence. Tell them that they look great. Make other people successful. One of the things that's been coming up for me is I've been working with a client, and now I am seeing her get out of this place that she was in, and now she's able to offer things to others again, which is fabulous, and I'm so proud of her. So these changes are bringing in, I'm even seeing like a ceremony of some sort. This could be that you're learning to embrace your good qualities, embrace your riches, in the sense that if there are things that you have that you own that are valuable, you can be proud of those things, you can honor those things. So if you have stuff in your home at this time, even though it's supposed to be spring cleaning, what I'm getting actually is right now, because we're at the very end of the spring, is it's kind of time to get rid of old clothes, things like that you don't want to get back into next spring. Just stuff like that. As we're talking about the earth, that sort of thing. Making your homes earth as well. So I don't know if you guys cleanse your homes, but again, a lot of that is in my Money Blocks program. We talk a little bit about how we can shift our vibration of our spaces, which will also affect us. Okay. But cleansing, I'm hearing there's someone watching who really doesn't understand the word cleansing. I think enough. Do you guys, everybody watching here, understand the word cleansing? Last night in our meditation group, we've been meditating on a word. We're working on like journal prompts as well, and that also came up on Facebook for our daily energy to like focus on one. So when you think about cleansing, what do you think about? I'm feeling really hot, so I feel like there's someone who's even listening to this and getting like healing by activating your chakra. Okay, so cooperation in our relationships, this feels like it might be challenging at times still, because you might be finding, because you're on a certain path where it's like questioning your path a little bit, and as a result of that, the people on your path don't like that. That's kind of what happens when we work on ourselves. It can definitely force people to have change, and not everybody else wants to change just because we're changing. And so there's a lot of stuff to unpack, it feels like, at this time, where you might feel nervous to start unpacking your baggage, your emotions, because you might be fearful that other people will judge you, or maybe it's a self-love commitment practice that you're struggling with, because you might feel like, I'm not ready to do this, or I don't have time to do this. We'll call that like your yoga practice, right? I always find there are people that struggle with doing their yoga practices because they think that it means something other than what it means. Yoga practice essentially is just coming into breath, right? And then we get to slowly invite more physical in there. But body, mind, spirit connection is going to be important around the summertime, because again, we want to feel whole, and there's a lot of people now that are feeling like they're off their rockers, they're feeling rocked, and like they're not able to live the life that they truly want to be living. So ask yourself, why are you living the life that you want to be living? Okay, because this summer solstice is going to start kind of forcing you to recollect your thoughts, bring things back more into harmony. So when the fall comes, you're going to be finding a lot of those little missing pieces that you were feeling are starting to like come back. Like your spirit is coming back a little bit. But again, there's a lot that we have to go around that, but I'm seeing someone like gluing things together. Literally, it's like, okay, I'm going to sit and I'm going to do this creative project, or I'm really going to take more time with the kids because I feel like they need my energy, my attention. And so again, it might not bring in money, but this is like more about the harmony in the relationships. That might be part of your path. So listen more. If you are confused, I feel like there are some people watching who are confused right now. Do some deeper soul searching, soul work. That's what our heart was teaching us. My face is flashing heat. Yeah, so I was definitely feeling that overwhelmed sensation. Because a lot of it is that when we're listening to something resonates with us, that in itself is more kind of starting to connect the dots in terms of like mindfulness. That was our meditation practice last night that we were learning about. So yeah, Kelly, you might want to pay the $45, get those replays, and get on track if you're able to come to our Monday night classes. Even if you can take one, that would be, or just to like email me things you want support with, and then I can do the clearing for you. But you know, it's time to have more fun, need more entertainment. We need lighthearted energy. And so I don't know if you guys are feeling this, but do you feel that shift just from like the last full moon to this new moon? Are you feeling, holy crap, there's a lot of stuff going on, and now there's still work to do, but it's so much lighter because we hopefully have been doing that work over that full moon, so that you're able to, again, integrate these emotional things that maybe you used to feel charged about that you don't feel charged about anymore. So Knight of Wands, okay, we have 2 knights in our spread here because we also had the perfectionism card there where we need to kind of be a little calmer with ourselves. This person's really talking about taking some action. So I see people planting a lot of seeds. And so that could mean a metaphor, right? Like you really are starting to invest in yourself, you're really starting to manifest, but it literally could be someone who's growing a huge garden right now and they're like really looking forward to even like bring plants, just stuff like that, as we're talking about that earth, because it makes us feel happy that we're able to even give back into the earth a bit more. So collect your thoughts a little bit more around this time. Because it's not a time where, again, we want to lash out and we want to react. So pull it inward a tiny bit more and you'll find that helpful. 3 of Wands, it's saying you are ready to move forward. Okay, you are ready to help other people. You are ready to do the maybe energetic practices, but you're still worried a little bit. It's like you're not feeling really energetically connected in the way you would like to be. And so don't be hard on yourself, like, you know, even where you are maybe financially right now. A lot of it is, it's not, if you're feeling like you're lacking money and abundance, what you're actually lacking is probably having a healthy mindset towards your life and your lifestyle, you know, because you're probably already successful, but you're not seeing yourself in that bright light. So confidence, again, we were working with that last night with the inner child. So for anyone that wants those of the meditation and the theta healing, absolutely, I would suggest doing that. Again, that's $45. You can e-transfer horsemanreadings@gmail.com, or under my link tree, I have a PayPal link there too. And then I'll mail those over to you and our link for our classes if you're able to attend. All right. So that is our daily for tomorrow's energy for the solstice as well. If we could break it down a little bit more, I'm feeling like we're shifting so much that the worry is just natural because of the change. Okay, so again, getting that mindfulness practice in, and then also some of the outcome energy of, as I was talking about, as we shift into fall, even winter, what you're going to be finding is your healing practices will either become secondary because you're feeling really good, or they're so embedded in you. For instance, just talking about those crystals, it'll just become like your everyday thing. But we've got to switch energy up too. Sometimes we master the crystals, we stop those, we get into like sound, we stop that, then we go into like yoga, we stop that. And a lot of it is because we want this huge bag of things that we can use based on our energy. Okay, so don't forget that. You might be telling yourself, oh, I don't need this, or I really need this. There's a difference between one being deprived and desperate, and then the other one where, you know, maybe you're not tuning in enough to the intuition and the heart space. Okay, so a lot of work to do, not to overwhelm you, but there's a reason why I think when I create these resources for people, it always seems to align. I'm going to be, after my July 10th, that's my last day for my programs, 3 programs I'm currently teaching. Then I'm going to Greece, and I am coming back in August, and I'm just going to, I feel like feel into where the energy is then, because I'm being called to showing my face in places and doing some type of like in-person activities in group settings. So I'm going to see what happens, but that's just more what I'm called into. And that would be more, might be local, might not be local. And of course, I will start with local. Okay. So that's that. That's a wrap. I hope you have a great day. The sun's coming out here. So summer solstice blessings. Bye-bye. Take care.